our Microsoft Word document using MLA format. You'll need this for your 6 essays here in English 9, something that you'll go back to time and time again, not only in English 9 but in future classes as well. I know my English 10 course requires it, and any college course would require this or APA format. So it's a good format to sort of get ingrained into your head and something that you'll use often. So when you first open up your Microsoft Word document, you'll want to start by making sure your margins are okay. So if you go up to the Layout tab, you'll see that we have our margin area here. Typically, when you open it up, it'll be on normal already and you'll have the 1-inch margins all the way around. But if not, you can always just click normal or change them yourself systematically with the 1-inch, 1-inch all the way around. So that's the first step. The next step you want to do is you want to create the heading that will go at the top of any MLA formatted document. It's standard. It's something that once you learn, you can use time and time again. It starts with your name first. Then underneath that will be your professor or your teacher's name. So in our case, obviously Miss Town. Underneath that will be the course number or name, or if you have both, of course, you'll want to put both there. And then finally will be the date. Now the date is the only tricky part here in setting up your MLA format, because you want to make sure that you keep it the way that it needs to be as far as MLA format and what the rules require. So it goes day, month, and then year. It seems a little bit silly to us, or maybe uncommon or unfamiliar, but this is what is required when we use MLA format. This is also required when we use the dates in our works cited page, which we'll talk about later in the semester. Then, of course, you want to press enter again. You're done with the heading, but just to clarify, you'll press enter, and in the center your title will be centered. You don't need to bold it. You don't need to put it in italics. You don't need to do anything fancy with the title. Just make sure you capitalize appropriately there. Then you'll press enter, and of course you want to start your essay left aligned using the tab key. And this, of course, isn't what your essay will really look like, but it's something that will sort of be a placeholder for us so that you can see what it should look like when it's all said and done. So after you've gotten this far, you'll want to make sure that your entire document is double spaced. That's also a requirement of MLA format. So if you just highlight whatever you have and then double space it by doing what I just showed there, by going up to your spacing and choosing 2.0, or sometimes it'll say double in your word processor. The entire document needs to be double spaced. So it should look something similar to this. Another requirement of MLA format is that you make sure that your font is completely standard. So 12 size font is standard, and then they always ask that you use a really easily readable font. So typically it's Times New Roman. There are other fonts that would be acceptable, for instance Cambria, Calibri. Those are ones that are very common. You just don't want anything crazy. You don't want any kind of like you know, something unreadable, something that someone has to struggle to read. So just choose something that seems really clear and really readable. Another thing in MLA format will be the page number, and that needs to go in the upper right hand corner of all of your documents. So in order to insert the page number, you're just going to double click up here in this top part of your document. And in the iOS program for Microsoft, you have to tab over on your own and then go up to header and footer. And what you're going to insert here is your page number. Now you also want to move this over so that it's right aligned and everything will kind of butt up right against that right margin. So you've inserted your page number, and this will change according to the page and as you change it. But prior to the page number, you also need to put your last name. So whatever your last name is obviously would apply here. I'll just put last name for our purposes, but you'll put your last name there and then keep the page number. Now, just for our purposes, I can sort of show you when we get to the second page after you've written your fantastic essay and you've gotten to the second page. Notice how it changes the page number here for you. So don't try to manually enter in like last name and then the page number, because it will not change for you as you go from page to page. So make sure that you insert the page number as I just instructed. That will make your life a lot easier. I also always suggest to students that if you have trouble with this format, keep it somewhere, keep it on one of your essays, and you can always just adjust the date as necessary, the title, and then of course retype whatever your next essay is. But if this part is challenging for you, you can always reuse that.